During the 4 weeks of our Writing Creative Nonfiction class, in which we'll be conducting our writer's workshop for our first drafts of Essay 2, we will also be exploring the graphic memoir. So, what is a graphic memoir? Think of it as a hybrid form of creative nonfiction, which combines the type of autobiographical writing we called the memoir essay earlier this semester with comics art. Some of the most famous examples of graphic memoir, which are often assigned in college-level classes, include Art Spiegelman's Maus, Marjan Satrapi's Persepolis, and Alison Bechdel's Fun Home. For this specific class section of English 247, the graphic memoir we will be reading is Dark Knight, a true Batman story by Paul Dini and Eduardo Risso. Simultaneously, we will be working toward rough drafts of short graphic memoirs of our own. To help us get in the mindset for our exploration of the graphic memoir, this week, we will be completing our first drawing exercise for the class. Specifically, you'll be drawing a present self-portrait. That is, a self-portrait of yourself at this point in time, the spring of 2026, when you are a student in English 247. As inspiration, I've assembled a collection of self-portraits drawn by 7 authors. You'll find it in this module on our Canvas site for English 247, titled Examples of Author Self-Portraits. One of the self-portraits I've included is of Linda Berry, who not only writes, but also draws and teaches students to write and draw at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. In her book, Making Comics, Berry gives some practical tips on creating a comic self-portrait. One is to include things that show it's you, like glasses, a hair tie, keys around your neck, a pattern on your shirt, an object you have with you. You'll notice that most of the authors whose self-portraits are included in our little collection use that exact technique. Berry includes her glasses and her signature bandana hair tie. Truman Capote, Annie Dillard, and James Thurber similarly sketched their glasses. Margaret Atwood and Kurt Vonnegut captured their curls. And Vonnegut draws in his trademark Pall Mall cigarette. Although this seems like a simple exercise, it will help us to revisit the more complex concept of the multiple selves of a writer and drawer of memoir. We first thought about this back in mini lesson 6, What is a Memoir Essay? There we talked about it in terms of the 2 selves of the writer, the younger version of the writer who is experiencing the past event in the recollection, and the older version of the writer who is explaining the present understanding in the reflection. And in the 2 mini essays we will read this week, Jorge Luis Borges and Margaret Atwood explore another tension between multiple selves, specifically between the private person and the public persona of the author. Plus, they provide 2 of our example self-portraits. As if those weren't enough selves for us to think about as we read creative nonfiction, in our article, Illustrating Praxis, Comic Composition, Narrative Rhetoric, and Critical Multiliteracies, Catherine Comer points out that in graphic memoirs, authors can actually have 3 selves. The comic form illustrates and complicates the core tension in autobiographical writing, the relationships among the different personae of the self as author, narrator, character. You'll notice this tension as soon as you start reading Dark Knight, in which Dini is indeed the author, the narrator, and the main character. But before we get too far into all of that, let's start out simple by drawing self-portraits. By completing this first drawing exercise for English 247, you will not only earn 20 points, but also have a hand-drawn self-portrait ready when you become a famous author yourself.